Welcome to another Tech Help video brought to you by accesslearningzone.com. I'm your instructor, Richard Rost. Today we're going to see how to search multiple fields across multiple tables if you want to, using just one search box. So you make a little box on a form here, you type in what you're looking for, and you hit the search button, and then it can search across first name, last name, product name on an order, order ID, any field, you name it, you can search on it. And I'm going to show you how. Today's question comes from Harrison in Melbourne, Australia, one of my Platinum members. Harrison asks, how can I set up a search in Microsoft Access so that I can type into one box and it will look through multiple fields, like first name, email, or address, at all the same time? All at the same time. One of those things. I do the same thing in my database. I have a box on my main menu where I can type in any value. It'll search on email address, customer ID, order ID, first name and last name, and a few other fields I forgot about, but we can do the same thing very easily in pretty much any Microsoft Access database. Now, before we get started, this is an expert level video. Expert is what I consider between beginner and developer. So we don't need any VBA code to do this. We can do this with just some query criteria, a couple little tricks, and a query, and a form if you want. But there are a few things you should know beforehand. For example, you should know how to get a value from an open form. We're going to put a search box on our main menu, so we need to know how to refer to that by name. You should know what query criteria are and how to perform a wildcard search using the like keyword and the wildcard characters like the asterisk. You should know the difference between and, or, and not in your query criteria and the and across or down rule. If not, very important, go watch this guy. You should understand how to make command buttons. At least we're going to make a command button using the wizard to open a query or to open a form. Go watch this video for a little more information on that. And optionally, you should understand string concatenation. That's smashing multiple strings together, or basically any multiple fields together. This is a basic one. You should have this in every Access developer's toolbox should have this. And again, optionally, I'm going to make a search box to search between customers and their orders. So if you want to see how I built my order entry system, go watch my invoicing video. These are all free videos. They're on my website. They're on my YouTube channel. Go watch them if you want, and then come on back. Okay, I've done a lot of different videos on searching and finding stuff like this one, and this one, and this one, and this one, and this one. And in fact, I got a whole separate search seminar on tons and tons of different ways to perform searches. And that's because there's lots of different ways to search for stuff in your Access database. And there's lots of different techniques because different techniques work for different people, for different styles. So today we're going to make a quick search box, and then a query is going to basically search for all the fields using that criteria. All right, so here I am in my TechHelp free template. This is a free database you can grab off my website if you want to. So on my main menu, I've got this Today Is box. It's got the date in there. We're going to just repurpose this as my search box. And we'll make this button our search button. So I'm going to slide this over just a little bit, and I'm going to type in the word search in here as a caption. And we'll just move that over to the left a little bit. Let's see. Come here. Get over there. And then this guy will make our search box. Let's open up the properties. I'm going to rename this box. Let's call it search text. I'm going to get rid of the control source because right now it's set to equals date, which means it puts the current date and time in there and you can't change it. It's always set to the date. Get rid of that. Get rid of the format because we're not typing in a short date. Get rid of that. And that should be good. We got a nice blank box there called search text. And we'll deal with this button in a minute. But let's just save this and close it and then reopen it again. And now we got our little search box here. Okay? Now, we're going to make a query that's going to bring in all of the fields that we want to search on. Let's say we want to search on first name, last name, email, address, phone number, anything that your user might search on to try and find a customer, right? And you can also add related data from other tables. Let's also add in the order information. How about what product they purchased? So if they said they purchased, you can't find them in the customer table. Maybe someone's wife bought it or whatever, but they did buy a phaser bank, right? So you could search for the people who bought phaser banks. Or their order total. Hey, here's my invoice. It's ripped in half. I don't have the order number, but the order total was $472.53. Should be easy to find, right? You can use any number you want. Now, I already have a query called customer order queue that brings together the customer, the order and the order details. And you can see what that is here. I covered this in my invoicing video, right? Customer, order, order details. So this has pretty much everything we wanted. We just got to add a couple of customer fields. There's the product name, right? There's the line items for each order. And we just have to add a few fields in here. We got first name, last name, address. We just got to add phone and email to this. So design view, let's add in phone and email. Now, people always ask me, is it okay? Is it safe to go back and modify older queries if you got other stuff based on them? Well, be careful, right? Generally, adding fields doesn't mess things up. Don't delete fields unless you're absolutely positive they're not being used anywhere. I typically, in bigger databases, try not to touch the existing queries unless they're relatively new, because you don't want to mess up something that's been around for a while and oops, right? Always back up, back up, back up, back up. Now, I like to keep all the fields from a single table together, so I'm going to select both of these guys, let it go, and then grab them and drag them to the left and put them right here with the customer stuff. Just so all the customer stuff appears together, right? All the order stuff, all the detail stuff. So this is good. We're done with this. Save this. Now, I'm going to make a second query that just has the fields in it that we want to search on. No sense in having all the rest of that stuff. So we're going to go to create and then query design. I'm going to bring in that customer order queue because it's got everything we need in it, right? Just like this. Now we're going to bring in the fields and only the fields that we care about. So if you want customer ID, even though we're not searching on it, you can bring it in. I have longer customer IDs in my database because I've been around for 20 some years. So my customer IDs are up to like 32,000, whatever. So I can search for a number 32146 and it'll generally will come up with a customer. My order IDs are much, much larger than that now. But if it's a new database like this one, all the customer IDs are pretty low. So if I just search for a 7, it could bring up anything. And obviously, if you have custom part numbers or custom order numbers or whatever that you design, that's even better. But searching for low IDs usually doesn't help. But if you want this so you have it in the results, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Just like you can also bring in the order ID if you want. But I'm just going to bring in first name, last name, address, phone, email, and the stuff we're searching on. And then we'll bring in, what did we want? We want the product name and the price. Okay, well, we're doing unit price. That's fine. If you got another query that's got all the order totals, I've got one that's got all the order totals in it, the order summary queue. We could bring this in too, but that's not necessary. You get the point. You see what I'm doing here, right? All right, let's save this as my search queue. This is my search query. And if I run it now, I get everybody. There's everybody in the original query. Okay, now we can use our criteria from this guy here, right? From this forms main menu F, that's the name of the form, and then search text. So we can put that criteria in here. Now we have to use wildcards, right? Otherwise it'll be an exact match. If I just type in equals, let me zoom in so you can see this better. Shift F2, whoops, Shift F2, right? If I just type in equals forms main menu F, and then it's search text, that's an exact match. It's got to match it exactly, right? But if I put the wildcards around it and I say like star and that and a star, then it will match any number of characters in the beginning, any number of characters on the end, as long as the search text appears within that. Right? That's how you use the like. And we have another video for that, which you're supposed to have watched. All right, so there's my criteria. Now that's for first name. All right, let's save this. If I run it now, I still get everybody because there is no criteria here. So like star star is basically like everything. Now let's say let me go back into design mode here. Let's say I put me in here, right? Rost. And then I run this. I'm still getting everybody. Why is that? This is one that gets a lot of beginners especially. Well, the reason why is because if you look very carefully, I never left that field, right? I just typed in Rost and then I came over here and ran the query. This hasn't saved yet. Data doesn't get saved in fields until you move off of them. Now I just hit tab. Now if I run that, you can see, whoops, it's not working either. What happened? Let's take a look. Well, oh, I'm in first name. I'm only in the first name field. I didn't put any criteria in last name. Okay, that makes sense. All right, so now I'm going to type in RIC and I'll hit tab. You're not going to have to hit tab in the final version. Just be patient, right? And now I'll run this query, and okay, there I go. There I go. I got all the RICs. Okay, all right, we're getting somewhere. Now, the next thing we have to do is take this criteria and put it in all the fields, but we don't go straight across, right? In fact, we can just copy and paste this, right? Copy. Don't put it here, because if you put it here, remember, it's and across or down. This means it'll have to be the same criteria in all of the fields at the same time. So we're going to go down a row, paste it there, down a row, paste it there. See, it's or down. It's got to be this or that. I'm running out of room here, so let me just do this. All right, paste, paste, paste. Okay, so now we've got it in all of the fields, but it's an or condition. So we can have a phone number that's got that, or a product name that's got that, or a unit price that's got that. Okay, let's save it. And let's try some more stuff here. Let's come up here and type in PHAS for phaser. I'm going to hit tab, come over here, run it, and there you go. There's your 2 orders that contain a phaser bank, right? Let's search for a partial phone number. Let's do, well, let's go back here. Let's get rid of that criteria so we can see everybody. Run it. All right, let's do a search for a 3367. Should come up with his phone number, right? All right, 3367, I'll hit tab, and then we'll refresh the query. You can just go over here and hit F5, and look at that, it reruns it. Oh, look at that. All right, so the query is working. Now, the last step is we just have to make a button that opens up this query. I'm going to show you how to do it 2 ways. I'm going to show you how to do it with the wizard, and then I'm going to show you, oops, someone's beaming in. Is it more tribbles? I'm going to show you how to do it with the command button wizard, and then I'll show you how to do it with 1 line of VBA code. Just 1 line, it's real easy. All right, form design, find a command button, click on it, drop it down here somewhere. The wizard starts up. It's going to be miscellaneous, and then run query. Next. Which query are we opening? The search queue. Next. Put whatever text you want on it. Run query. That's fine. Next. Give it a meaningful name like a search button, whatever you want to call it, and then hit finish. And there you go. There's your run query button. Okay. Save it. Close it. Come back over here. Type in ROST. Run the query. And boom. It works. See? Let's search for a hyperdrive this time. HYPE, and then run it, and then boom, there's your hyperdrive and your hyperspanner. See? And you don't have to worry about tabbing off of that, because as soon as you click on the button, this box loses focus. It's called focus when you move from field to field. And so that problem's taken care of. It was only a problem before when we stayed in the search box. All right, now I told you I'd show you how to do it with VBA. Now, VBA is not scary. Watch how easy this is. I'm going to get rid of this button. We're going to reuse this button here that's already here. It's just a blank button. It's got a little bit of stuff in it right now, but don't worry about that. Let's just change the caption. This is going to be the search. I'm going to right-click on it, go to Build Event. That opens up this code builder here. And you can see I'm in the, it's called my Hello World button. I'm in the click event for the Hello World button. Watch this. All I have to do is come in here and say, it's do command.open query search queue. That's it. That's all you got to do. And see, that was much faster than even running the command button wizard, right? VBA is super easy. You really just got to know a handful of commands and you can take your database to a whole nother level. If you want to get started learning VBA, go watch this free video. It's about 20 minutes long. It teaches you everything you need to know to get started. All right, so now I can close this. I can close this, save changes, yes. Click on this, and then I type in anything in here like, oh, I don't know, Jean, and then search. And there it is, Jean-Luc Picard. See? Nice and easy. Now I got his customer ID. You can add order ID in here if you want to. And if you don't want to see a query, because I generally don't like my end users accessing tables or queries directly. So what you then do is you just take a form and you base a form on this query. So the form gets its data from the query, and then when you open the form, the query runs in the background and feeds the form. It's that simple. And I got several other videos on how to do that. I'm going to show you one more quick thing. Sometimes what I find is easier, instead of doing it like this, we got a whole bunch of criteria here like that. What I'll do is I'll concatenate all these fields together into one, and then just put the criteria on one of them. All right. So for example, come over here, and I'm going to make a new field here. I'm going to Shift F2, zoom in, so you can see it, right? I'm going to make this, we'll call it the search field. And this is going to be the first name and the last name and the address and the phone number and the email and the product name and the unit price. Just mash together all the fields you're searching in. Doesn't matter. You don't need spaces between them or anything else. Just smash it all together into one field. Right? So now you get this. That's all the data you're looking for smashed together. That's fine. That's okay. But now it's so much easier because now you just need to do this. Watch. Take one of these and put it there. And now you can get rid of all the rest of them. Delete, 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 delete. Okay? Get rid of this one too. Delete. All right? And then you can go like this and squeeze all these guys down. And just the criteria in that one field. And if you don't want to see it in the results, fine, just hide it. That's okay. Turn that off. Save it, close it, and watch this. Boom, same results. Instead of putting the criteria on all of those fields, you just mash all the fields together and put the criteria on at once. It's just doing a simple text search. Obviously, this wouldn't work with something if you're doing like a range search, but just looking for text, it works just fine. That's what I generally do. And it's simpler SQL too. Okay, now in the extended cut for the members, we're going to take this one step further. We're going to say, okay, we're going to do a search with VBA first of all. We're going to say, all right, if you find a customer, open the customer form right to him, right? If you find a product on an order, open up that order automatically instead of just giving the user a list of different options and they still have to go hunt it down. So we'll cover this in the extended cut for the members. Silver members and up get access to all of my extended cut videos and a whole bunch of training. And don't forget, if you want to learn lots more about searching in a Microsoft Access database, I've got a whole thing here called the Search Seminar. I'll put a link down below. It's got lots of different stuff in it, including a full natural language search and search as you type in detail with spaces. So it's really cool stuff. But that is going to do it for today's Tech Help video, folks. Hope you learned something. Live long and prosper, my friends. I'll see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up button right now and give me a like. Also, be sure to subscribe to my channel, which is completely free. And make sure you click that bell icon and select all to receive notifications whenever I post a new video. Do you need help with your Microsoft Access project? Whether you need a tutor, a consultant, or a developer to build something for you, check out my Access Developer Network. It's a directory I put together personally of Access experts who can help with your project. Visit my website to learn more. Any links or other resources that I mentioned in the video can be found in the description text below the video. Just click on that Show More link right there. YouTube's pretty good about hiding that, but it's there. Just look for it. Now, if you have not yet tried my free Access Level 1 course, check it out now. It covers all the basics of Microsoft Access, including building forms, queries, reports, tables, all that stuff. It's over 4 hours long. You can find it on my website or my YouTube channel. I'll include a link below you can click on. And did I mention it's completely free? And if you like Level 1, Level 2 is just $1. That's it. And it's free for members of my YouTube channel at any level. Speaking of memberships, if you're interested in joining my channel, you get all kinds of awesome perks. Silver members get access to all of my extended cut Tech Help videos, and there's hundreds of them by now. They also get one free beginner class each month, and yes, those are for my full courses. Gold members get the previous perks plus access to download all of the sample databases that I build in my Tech Help videos. Plus you get access to my code vault where I keep tons of different functions and all kinds of source code that I use. And gold members get one free expert class every month after completing the beginner series. Platinum members get all of the previous perks, plus they get all of my beginner courses, all of them from every subject, and you get one free advanced or developer class every month after finishing the expert series. And you can become a diamond sponsor and have your name listed on the sponsor page on my website. So that's it. Once again, my name is Richard Rost. Thank you for watching this video brought to you by AccessLearningZone.com. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something today. Live long and prosper, my friends. I'll see you next time.